Hello YouTube viewers, welcome to my channel Science to Technology. Uh, I'm making sure that I'm receiving audio and video both, hopefully. So, okay, hold on. I'm checking it on my incognito window just to be sure. Hopefully things are working fine. Okay, yeah, I have checked the audio and video stream. Hopefully everything is fine. I have checked it in incognito video. So, this is a stream not more as a intended as a audience kind of view. It's like 50% for audience, 50% for me. So recently things have are happening. Basically, obviously, if you have checked my channel, there was a 1 week gap because I was with my friend's wedding. He's like, old friend, like 17-year-old kind of old friend. So he was getting married, so I had to be there, obviously. And I went away from from my workstation, so to say. So I could not work from there. And again, power was also bad. And when I came back, something even weird happened. It's like India went through a coal shortage, and I'm reasonably sure it's mainly because of financial issues. So consequence was that almost all of the, like, you take India and central part of India had severe power cuts, and I mean brutal power cuts. Meaning, we are kind of used to power cuts. Like every Indian home has inverter and all that. We kind of used to it, but like we are used to, like, few hours of power cut, not few hours of power itself. So that's how bad it went. And while I was away, the inverter went down. Basically, when I started my channel, I knew for a fact that I need good electricity in order to reliably work. Like I can just, like, sit down and start to work. That only possible if I have good reliable electricity. So I invested a lot of money into getting a very big bulky system. So my system was Luminous UPS. That is a it's an inverter mostly. So it is around 2 kilowatt 2 kVA rating, and the battery is 24 volt, 220 amps. So it's kind of big and huge system. So almost around 4 kilowatt of capacity, 4 kilowatt hour capacity. So it's a big system. So benefit of that was that for the 3 years 9 months I had that system, I never had a power cut issue. Basically, again, power was coming and going, but I did not have to worry about it because everything, like you are seeing right now, power could cut happen right now, I would not have to worry about it. But the power cut was so bad, and for some reason my battery went deep discharge, but it apparently it was aged too much. And because I had two batteries, two 12-volt batteries, it became unbalanced. And even though we disconnected it, carried it out, which is very big, very heavy batteries, carried it out, the person tried to recharge the acid, fix everything, and like still did not work. So reality was those battery was functionally dead. And when I looked at the warranty card, the warranty was 3 years replacement warranty, meaning they're gonna replace the puppy if it's dies under 3 years. However, it was 3 year 9 months. So I had a scenario where I could try to get it, recharged again, as in like externally recharge, more fresh acid. Like there are some things you can do to lead acid battery in order to revive them if they are not too far gone. But the problem was there are two batteries in that. So if I replace one battery, and that creates the same problem, because one of them will be healthy, another one will be unhealthy. So voltage drop will be limited by the low capacity cell. So it's kind of a no-win scenario to replace one battery. And I wanted to, like, save up money and, like, fix that puppy. It did not work. It was like, I decided to bite the bullet and just buy a new battery system, because reality is I need power. I need reliability. Basically, I'm looking at it, it's working. I do not have to think too much about it. It's a necessary component. So in those sort of scenario, I had to buy a lot of things. The batteries are expensive, like around 20,000 rupees, kind of expensive. Thankfully, the seller collected the old batteries for reasonable kind of price, around 4,200 rupees. So I had two of them. So my total cost came around 31,000 rupees, which is a big chunk of my money. And this batteries are capacity was a bit lower. So I had 220 amp hour capacity. I went down to 200 amp hour capacity. However, the battery last time was Luminous. This time it's from Exide, and Exide one has a bit 1 year extra warranty, as in replacement warranty, 4 year replacement warranty. So I'm hoping that it works, because it's one of those things. It's like, since I'm relying on electricity reliably working, which, like, my inverter made sure. So I do not have any issue with my inverter, but it was like, it has to have good battery, otherwise inverter is useless. So I had to, like, just bite the bullet and buy it. And here's the ironic part of it. I had a decision that I'm gonna buy a microphone, because I'm struggling from my health issue, and my slip disc has started to, reawaken, quote unquote. I had the slip disc issue when I, like, basically in job, I did not take care of my health. For 2.5 years when I was doing my job, I, like, overworked myself and did not took care of it. If I had noticed it when, like, started to have pain, I could have taken care of it without any issue. But as for common issue, common people and all that, I always prioritize job back in that days. So consequence was slip disc was there. Now thankfully I got a good doctor, good physiotherapy, good stuff taken care of it, so it was almost forgotten. Like I almost forgot about it, that it was an issue, because I was doing daily exercise. They specified that almost I've forgotten about it. It's something that, like, I would do a morning exercise to make it okay, and it's like, good. It only hurted, or not even hurted, it was more of a, like, I felt tired if I sat there for too long, like, 6 7 hours kind of too long. I started to feel that. So uh, during that time, basically bad things started to happen. Like that slip disc issue was like taken care of, but after that I got stuck in a court case. Now I have made a this is my third live stream in this channel. I have made a past live stream of basically this light that I've made, a DIY light system. And before that, I have talked about like what's going on. Now that court case is still going on. Obviously, it takes very long amount of time, like idiotically long, and it's 1 year is up about it, and it took 1 year, almost 1 year, or even a bit more than that, to just to get bail. So it's very taxing. It's one of those things that when the case started, I was in anger, I was in rage. I was like, I'm gonna fight this, because again, what else could you do? What else choice is there? So I had a lot of energy back then, but like over time, it's erosive damage, where it's like, you grunt through it, you try to do your best, you like just push through it, but after a while you kind of run out of fuel, basically. And it will happen to anyone. Like it's not like, it's like, I'm not strong enough or anything. It will happen to anyone. We all have limits. Again, so different people will have different times, where some people could last for 2 3 years before they start to wear down. Some people will only start to, like, wear down only in few months. So it's one of those things that it will happen. It's just when it will happen, that's a different thing. So I started to reach that point where it's like, it started to erode at me. It's like chip away at me, and it's not going anywhere. It's almost like I'm guaranteed to lose, but I had to fight. Like there is no other option. So I had to do my best, like just try to maintain it, try to work through it. And during this time, my body decided this is the perfect time to give me another heart attack. I like damaged my hamstring also somehow, and so now sitting like this, I have forgotten like what a healthy body is supposed to feel like. That's how long it has been, 1 year plus hamstring issue, and I tried everything: physiotherapy, break, medication, everything. Nothing works. Like it's scary. It almost like it's starting to creep me out. It's like why the heck nothing is working? And it's not like oh, I took 1 day off. I like took a month off, and then also nothing happens. Like, and even doctors are like, yeah, it should be like, even doctors are giving me medication like 1 week or 2 weeks, it will be okay. It's like it's not getting okay. And after that, like I started to notice that my ankle started to stretch. Like it had a feeling that nerves are being pulled from the inside. Then I went to doctor again. This time it's like, what the hell is going on? So it's like, I think you have slip disc, and I'm like, yeah, I had it, but it was like taken care of. But it's like, no, you never take care of it. Again, I kind of knew it, but you kind of wish that it to be true. It's like you just accommodate it, but like I think that accommodation is no longer working anymore. So things are bad again. And I'm going next week, basically at the end of this next week, I'm going away to Ahmedabad is like a good place, a big town, and so it has good MRI options. MRI options in my area is like zero point 0.3 Tesla, and my brother, who was a doctor, he's like, you need at least 1.5 Tesla to get like reliable reading, so to say. So there is no point getting MRI done on a very crappy machine. So I had to go to a big city, and they also have some good doctors. So hopefully I'll figure it out like what exactly is happening. However, one of those things have happened where it's like maybe my issues are not as physical as I thought. Maybe it's mostly emotional, mostly psychological. I'm like, just burnt and tired. And apparently, I just watch a comedian was saying like, back pains are mainly emotional issues. So I'm like, damn, if that is true, kind of explains a lot. It's like, why the heck things, like even doctors, like I'm talking professional doctors, are like, yeah, take 15 days, done. It's like, no, it's still going on. It's going on for 1 year. It's kind of freaking me out. So I'm like burnt. But all that being said, uh, when you have bad time, like everything starts to break down. So my inverter broke, my channels started to decay, both of the channels, Hindi and English channels, started to decay. YouTube channel stopped sending my what do you call, notifications and all that jazz. Like it's just not sending it. It's like I'm uploading video, it's not sending it. It's like people are saying, commenting, sir, I'm not getting any notification. It's like everything is fine. It's not like I have any strike or anything. It's just like YouTube algorithm decided not my day anymore. So even that was stressful enough. So all these things, my flip disk started to act up, my channel started to go down, my basically everything that could go bad started to go bad, and it became overwhelming. And this has been going on for almost 1 year. So over time started to erode. It's one of those things like, month one you can, push through. Month two you can push through. Month three you can push through. Month fourth you start to like, wear down a little bit. Like I can force myself as much as I want, but like if even if my body itself is not supporting it, it's like how can I force it? So I kind of made like I was so burnt, so tired. I made a decision in January of this year. It's like I will not be scared anymore. I will force myself to do things that no matter what, like I'm just gonna do it. There is no consequence. There is no discussion about this. Just do it. Let me just see. It's like if I die, I die. I have to be okay with it. It's like I cannot be a coward anymore. It's like I've been a coward my whole life. So I was like, let's do it. So I went from a guy who never would even leave his house. Like, I'm a very introvert kind of guy. And like, I was not the man who would be like, if my friends call, hey, it's my wedding, can you come and all that? I will like, yeah, I will find some excuse basically. I'm reasonably sure, even in your friend circle, you will know a few people who's like, you have friends for a long time, but they will never like, make the attempt to actually come out and actually all that. So I made a decision that this year, that's it. Like, I do not know whether I will live tomorrow or not, but I do want to live as if there is a reason for me. There is a reason, like, where, I have made friends. That's the one good thing I have. One or two. I had good teachers and I have good friends. So those two things are one of those scenario where I'm like, that's good. And I really want to milk that. It's like, they've been there for my, like, my good, bad times. I have to be there for their good times. So I made a decision, focused effort that if there is any opportunity to do anything to push myself, I will do it. I will no longer be stuck in my comfort zone because I'm dying in my comfort zone. And again, it's external, it's out of my control, but I have to expand myself. There is no other option. So in February, I went to one of my friends, and this is the first time I just went alone. Like, and it's not even a family trip, it's not a work related, or work related I could do without any issue. It's just like, just for, just because a friend called, just have to be there, so I did that. That was in yeah, I will talk about future engineering. I will talk about life lesson. That's what I'm going on. It's like I told you, like this video is mostly for 50% for me, 50% for the audience, because there are many good things, there are many bad things also. So in February, I got the opportunity to go out, and I'm reasonably sure most of you would have been also stuck due to quarantine. So many of you would have been in a scenario where it's like you have not left your home for like months or even years. So I was in that kind of boat where it's like for almost 3 years I have not went anywhere. So when February opportunity came, I was like, just do this. No BS, no horseshit. It's just do it. Let me push through. Let me try to do it. Like, what's the worst gonna happen? I'm gonna die. I'm okay with it. Like, just let me try. And it was a good opportunity. Like, it kind of opened me. It's like, I'm not that coward. It's like I'm just holding myself into my own comfort zone. Again, let my health. At that time, I was not even did not even had bail, so I could not enjoy it as much as I wanted. But I did push through. Did went there. Had good time. Then I came back. Then a company, basically, which you have seen in my a community page, a company reached out to me. It's like, hey, would you be willing to give a basically presentation on aluminum air battery into our small battery conference system? And they not flew me out. Like, again, I could have flown out, but since I don't have an airport, it would have been required a railway travel from A to B, then B to C. So I was like, might as well take a longer train. And it's like, I do not like to like switch things. I'm like, just I want to sit in a train and get off at my destination. I do not like the idea of changing and switching. So I was like, you know what, I'll just go with a train. They were willing to pay for it, but I was like, let me just use a railway, because thankfully it was direct from my location. It's like, I sit at the afternoon and I land there in the morning. So that was awesome. And this is the first time I was like, actually touched a 5-star hotel. So that was awesome. That was one of the experience. I was very scared to go there, but I was like, what, let me try. And again, those people who were there, they were amazing. They were like they were titans of their industry. They were running lead acid battery, and you were like, why lead acid battery? Recently, lead acid battery went up in popularity in India, specifically because of e-rickshaws. They are three-wheeler vehicles, and they are very popular, very popular. So all lead acid company went from like barely holding on to like tada, we are the money makers now. So they had a lot of reasons to like renew their effort. And we had a good talk, and like all these people were like, I've been running this company for 15 years, I have PhD, I have multiple patents. So they were like, if I'm here, they're like on a scale that does I cannot even look up to them. Like, that's how far up they were. But they given me this opportunity, and somebody told me, it's like, if they are giving the opportunity, trust them, have faith in them that they know what they're doing. So I did go up there, and I've shared the video. So it was a like bit of bumpy start, but and there was a miscommunication. That's on me. I started to give you the conference in Hindi because like a lot of the audience were in wanted Hindi, but he interrupted. The basically manager interrupted. Is like, can you mix Hindi and English? He wanted me to use a bit of English, bit of Hindi, but I was like so stressed out, and like I was saying in Hindi, and the only word I listened to is English. So I switched the gear and I started talking in English. Now that kind of was bad on me, but again the host were very gracious. They did not interrupt me again, and thankfully I did practice a lot. This is one of the good things about running this YouTube video for so long, 4 years. It's like they have given us 20-minute slots, and you're supposed to be finished by 15 minutes, so you can have like 2-3 minutes of conversation and all that. And I was the only one who did that. I was the only one. Everybody else was like stretch their time like around 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes. So it was one of those things that happened on March. So February I went to one of February. March I went to New Delhi, and in April, basically last month, I went to another friend's wedding. That's why there was a 1 week break. I went his very old friend, his wedding also. And here's the interesting part. I'm going again at the end of this month, like second week from this, also going. But this time I'm going to Ahmedabad for multiple reasons. It's like also a wedding is also involved. Anniversary is also involved. I think 50-year anniversary. So it's a very important milestone. So it's one of those things like, a lot of things are happening. I'm going to, get my MRI done again. So uh, trying to like resolve the situation. It's like how bad it is, like how bad it is. Things are like not going as I wanted, but like things are things. Yes, there's a whole saying now. It's like you have a plan, and then they're like life has a plan. So, Geek Multivitamin, may God give you the strength to overcome the difficult time. Wish you quick recovery. Thank you very much for this. Good wishes. So, same thing is happening with me also. There is like I want to go to Ahmedabad, but again, this will be a bit longer. And during this time, my channel will be down. I can't do much about it. However, I may there is a bit may get a chance to travel to basically Unity statue, India's largest statue, or at this point in time world's largest statue. If I get that opportunity, I will try to vlog about it, because again it's one of those things that I do want to do. So during this time, during my basically travels last week, I had a bit of free time, and this time I got addicted to Instagram Reels, because it happens like when you are busy, you are busy, but when you have free time, you don't actually know what to do with yourself. It's during that time I kind of like got involved in Instagram Reel. There was one reel that kind of stick to me. It's like if you are tired, learn to take a rest, not to quit. And it kind of hit me. I needed to hear that. It's like things are happening where like I wanted to give it all, yeah, do my best, and I did my best. I poured a lot, and I got a lot of support. Like in my Hindi channel, I'm like almost touching 200K for science channel with ugly face like this. That's awesome. Even on my English channel, I'm getting amazing responses. Again, 5-6 videos have almost exploded. It's like my CO2 turbine has rocket up, or axial motor. Some reason axial motor is very very popular. I'm getting amazing feedback, amazing interaction with the audience. It's like it's awesome. It's awesome. Even financially, I started to make some, like I went from barely having enough to food to like I think I'll be okay. It was like I will be okay. And many of you may say that's stupid, like you should not never rely on YouTube. But here's the deal: I did a job, so I kind of know that every time people is like oh, you should do this. It's like unless you are ludicrously smart enough where you can do multiple jobs at the same time, most of us have to like okay, have to have a what we call leap of faith. Like there is no other way around it. It's like my dad worked in a bank, and he worked for from like first job to retirement. That's life. And my brother, he's working in companies as a industrial health expert, and he's like he changed. I think he's on third company right now. So it happens. So, like sometimes you will be like I'm working here and all that, and I do not like the idea of like working to death, because at that point in time you are insulting your life. You are not here just to like work yourself to death, because like again there are shortcuts to take for that. So like life has to have what you call balance between two core components, and that's true around everything. Any person, any culture, anything that tries to break this balance between two components generally ends up destroyed. You have to have pleasure and you have to have purpose, and these two things have to be balanced. This is one of those things that you must balance this thing out. You cannot have too much purpose, you cannot have too much pleasure. You have to balance this out. And this is one thing that I've learned, and I have always messed it up. I have always messed it up. Like why do I have issue with my health. It's simply because I put too much on my purpose. It's like, I gotta make money, I gotta, like, feed myself and all that. It's like, dude, I will be here, I'll be fine. It's like, like, think of it this way. It's like how lucky I am that, like, when I left my job, and the option was like, I told my parents, it's like, I need 2 years and I'll make it work, and it happened. It's like, let that sink in. I went somewhere, and it's like I said something and it happened. It's like, duh. But again, always I mess that part up. Always I mess that part up. It's like I need to figure out how to balance the pleasure with purpose. I have purpose. That part is taken care of, but I never take care of the pleasure part well enough. Whereas, like, dude, my body needs some, like, love, some affection. Whereas, like, dude, I'm the one who's like, keeping you up straight. Take care of me, and I'll take care of you. I never do that properly. So it's one of those things where I have always messed up. And so this year, I made a decision that, like, if opportunity presents itself, I'm gonna take it. And my channel will be damned, simply because if I'm mentally dead, what's the goddamn point? So I'm going to Ahmedabad. Now, what will I do next week? Like from Monday to Friday till I'm here, I will try to do shorts video, because again, the power issue was so bad I could not work last week. Like, power was just gone, and on top of that, I was getting RCT done on my teeth, which was very painful. How many of you have gotten this? Let me show you. Okay. Yep. Yes. So, like, again, my teeth is not in good position, but had to do it. Had to do it. So Akash, no, I recently discovered your channel, and I have to say it's a bloody gold mine. Take a break, please. Of course, I will. It's like, this is one thing that almost forced upon me, that I have to be a bit more eh, lax to this channel. This channel is like, if I'm building it for long term, I'm not building it like, 1 year or 2 years, or I'm gonna go to something else. Like, this is my end game. Like, at least as far as I can help it, this will be my end game. I'm all in this. There is no plan B. There is no plan C. This is like, this is it. And am I ashamed of it? Am I scared of it? Ashamed? Hell no. I'm helping, and I'm okay with that. There are many people who have commented that they learned something new because of me. They have cleared some misconception because of me. And at this day and age, if I can help even one person to do that, I'm okay. I'm chill. I'm chill. Because yeah, I did work in a company and I did made money. It's like, yeah, I worked in a, like, Sony Spider-Man. Yeah, that's how big AAA titles I have worked it. But here's the deal. You have to watch the whole game, play the whole game, go to credit menu, and then scroll up to very last, and then it's like, Dhruva, thanks to, like, then there is my name, Anupam Vepul. It did not meant much. It did not meant much. I've been there, I've done that, but it did not meant much. So this, it matters a lot more. Like, again, financially, this is a stupid decision, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. And, like, think of this one. Sometimes people say, "Nah, you have a plan, and then somebody else has a plan." I'll give you an example of that. To basically, to improve my work efficiency, I wanted to buy this. Uh, yeah, basically, I wanted to buy this so I can work far more efficiently. Right now, I use a Zoom H1N as an audio recorder. But if I had this, a mic will be here, so audio quality will be much better, because right now my mic is this far away when I'm recording, like from this, and it will go from this to this, so that will have drastically better audio quality, even if the mic is crappier. Even if mic is crappier, if you have a crappy mic that is close to you versus a quality mic that is far away from you, a closer one will always be better. So this will be very close to me, and I'm reasonably sure the capsule quality is more or less the same as H1N. So quality wise, this is also good, and because it will be directly transmitting to my camera, I will have one whole step from my pipeline taken away. There is, like, I start the recording and I stop the recording using my remote. Hold on, I'll show that also. Basically start my DSLR, I'll stop recording this, and that's it. I have to only take out one card right now. Take out two card, micro SD card that is on my recorder, and full size SD card that is on my camera. Now, like, is it worth it to spend this kind of money on this? Absolutely. it is one of those things where you learn this throughout, working. Especially any of you who have worked in big companies, they will know for this fact. It's like everything that shaves off minutes in your pipeline reliably, regularly, it's worth doing it. And I should have not been stupid enough where it's like it took me this long to do it. I should have done that. And again, that would have maybe even, reduced my strain well enough where maybe my slip disc would not have become worse again. So it was one thing. Now, this was given to me by an individual, as in like for consultation, because I'm doing consultation for a company. That company is investing in new moonshot projects, so they wanted me to go through things. Basically, they're like, okay, we want to invest in this, we'll pay for your time and all that, and just go through it, figure out something, anything is that off or something like that. And the reason why I got to put in touch with them is simply because I made a video about Quasar electricity. Quasar is geothermal. So basically, that company that wants to drill to almost 10 plus kilometer to get geothermal. Now that's awesome, and I like this people, let's say the person who's investing in me, they were directly investing in that company, as in like millions of dollar kind of investment. And they wanted me to you always need this, you always need this. It's like if you're running a big company, you always need this, where people are looking at some far bird's eye view kind of scenario, where it's like you can look at the situation. It's like, so I give them some good question. That's my job for them. It's like I have to give them good questions to ask when they are investing in this company. So it's like, so I give them the question. It's like, have what are you expecting in terms of one 10 megawatt gyrotron, or you want to link 10 piece of 1 megawatt gyrotrons, because that's the power needed. And how much tolerance do you have when you are talking about waveguide? And waveguide, is it like like it's some detailed question, which is like I'm done. Like this is the second time this happened, where it's like I was just like, dude, you're paying me. It's like, but like even he was like very confident. It's like, bro, don't worry about it. I'll milk you. I'll milk you. Don't worry about it. And it's one of those things that almost all my friends are saying, dude, you always think too much. It's like, just if somebody is trusting you, have a faith in them. It's like they may know it. And again, what's the worst is gonna happen? It's like, yeah, I will not pay you. It's like, okay. And this is one of those things that I would gonna buy anyway. Once my back started to hurt, I was like, it's like money in my bank account is meaningless if I'm like paying 24 into 7. So it was one of those things where it's like I had to do it. So irony is, the money I spent on this is exactly same money that I spent on my battery. So my bank balance went down same amount. So it's almost ironic. So this is what I'm doing right now. Where it's like things are not as amazing as I wanted. Things are painful, brutal, cruel even. But what other choice do I have now? This year, I think it's very contrasty for me. So bad things are really bad, but good things are really good. It's like I have get to met to some interesting people, and I started to create on my Hindi channel different perspective, where I'm inviting guests. I have invited one gentleman who's principal of a battery school. His job is to train workers for actual high technical jobs in lead acid manufacturing department from start to finish, because he himself runs a company, so he knows from a fact like how do you start to finish. And even if you have some idea, they will help you to have an idea, but basically tool manufacturing advancements and all that jazz. So again, real world, real training. So he we connected to them in a battery conference. Another individual, a CEO basically, I connected with him, and he's like a he starts his own basically EV company, Techion. And his right now is nothing. Right now, let's be clear, right now he's nothing, but I have a feeling that he might become the next big thing. I have a feeling about that. His dreams are big. It's like his dreams are big, and he knows this thing. Like it's like he's not just making an EV as in like making an EV. He's like doing post graduation right now, and his main thesis, I think, is making lithium tungsten basically graphene batteries. Dude knows basically on a chemical level, he knows. And he wants to have a EV, and then he wants to develop a chemical battery system. So uh, I was really lucky to be put in touch with him. And last Friday, I was also so lucky. I was put in touch with an individual who worked with GoGo A1. It's a company in India that does specialization in conversion of normal second-hand motorbikes into EV bikes. So Techion, yeah, yes, I'm talking about Techion. Uh, so that EV conversion. Again, he also talked about this, like right now in India we have a, like, EV hazard issue right now going on, because Ola, like, they rushed so much production, rushed so much. The EV is not basically made in India. The EV is designed, as in like the R&D of the design was made for Netherlands apparently, and the company they bought, Netherlands has much colder temperature. Like their hot would be like, oh, it's 25 degrees Celsius, 28 degrees Celsius. They were like, dude, it's hot. In India it's like 28 is like cool, bro, chill. Like we do not worry about until it crosses 35 degrees Celsius. So I'm reasonably sure that's why, like, the BMS is not well programmed. Overheating issues, battery catching on fire issues, like a lot of issues happened, and it's kind of painting a very bad light on basically EV industry as a whole, because people are getting frustrated, and it's expensive equipment. And not only it's catching on fire, it's also causing an issue. It's like, is government doing any regulation? And like, a lot of people are suffering, as in like suffering, kind of suffering. So that one bad decision. And not to mention, there were some smaller scale manufacturers like Altair Automotives. They are also suffering, simply because a lot of people, Ola had like such a big capital that they forced, they almost forced every other company out of the game. And because they could not deliver, now everybody is broke because of it. So it's Elon Musk and Twitter would like to comment. Yeah, it happens. It's one of those things that making an EV company is kind of easy. Making it profitable is difficult, and making a good EV that works in Indian environment, that's very difficult. I would have like very low hopes on even Tesla Motors, simply because even if they brought it here, it will last. I'm reasonably sure they must have done all the testings required and all that jazz. That's not an issue, but I do not think it will last here for very long. It's like Indian roads are brutal on a whole another level. So again, it will last. It will just like, instead of lasting 15 years, it will barely last 5 years. So, and I'm talking chassis damage kind of. I'm not talking about battery and all that, chassis kind of thing. So this individual that I have talked yesterday, that was also very illuminating when he was talking about, like, if your pack is not good built enough, there is no point of having BMS. There is no point of having anything. It's still like, crapshoot. You are just hoping that it does not go boom. So it was awesome. So this was my year's goal, where it's like, let me be bold. If things works. Thing does not work, I can't do anything about it anyway. So again, I have to go on to court also on Tuesday. So another thing I'm looking forward to. So yeah, that's also happening. So this was my situation. It's like things are not good, but I will try to take rest. I will, because again, yeah, it's like from your point of view, it's like, dude, why the heck you are taking so many rest stops? Like, yeah, that's life. It's like, I do not want to, but life has decided to, like, I had a plan, and life is like, no, bro, no, I have a plan. So I have to take the brunt of it, so to say. Which compound are left after extraction of crude oil from seaweed? Seaweed algae does not make crude oil. It just gives you basically almost vegetable oil, and the residual is very less. Crude oil is very heavy hydrocarbon. This is not very heavy hydrocarbon. So do not mix those two things up. You're not getting crude oil from it. You're getting basically one biodiesel chain from it. It's not that. Basically, crude oil is a container that contains everything. What you're getting out of that is one product. So it's not the same thing. And the wastage material is generally recycled to the farms again. So that acts as a nutrition. So that's one of the question. Can we make fertilizer from seaweed? Absolutely. You can make fertilizer from almost every bioorganic material. Like nature, that's how nature works. Nature does not rely on artificial fertilizer. It relies on biomatter to deconstruct everything. So if you have a biomatter, nature will find out a way to, like, deconstruct that biomatter and get the required nutrition out of it. That's how nature works. Like, you do not go to a forest and, like, give it nutrition and all that jazz. That's not how it works. So this was a basically presentation, not presentation, I would say, just what's what for me and for you guys also, where it's like, this is what's up with me right now. It's not good, bad, brutal, expensive, and a lot of dental pain. Like, I had freaking 3 RCTs. It's painful. No, as in, like, I had 1 RCT here, but like those 2 capping was like, foregoed. Like, I forgot to get the capping done, and it was very volume is low. I think volume is bad on your side. It's not on mine, because I'm checking on, oh yeah, it's reaching -15, it's above -20 level. So I'm pretty sure audio is bad on your end. Roy ji, please check your audio, because I've checked it. Like, I've checked it on another file. Please check on your end. Why artificial fertilizer is bad? It's not bad per se, as in it's unnecessary. Nature does not rely on it. It's like we started to force it on nature just to get short-term benefit. And in that short term, again, I have made a detailed video about this, like, what is healthy soil. And once you watch that, you will understand that. Like, we kind of messed up a natural ecosystem for the sake of quick gain. And consequence of quick gain is we killed the soil. Once the soil is dead, it's you might as well do hydroponics at that point in time. You're not using the soil. So that's why artificial fertilizers are bad. Like once in a while, like, just to top up and things of that nature, that's awesome. But relying on it is very dangerous and also financially destructive. Farmers are like, very suffering because of that. Yeah, volume is your case in 17,522. No, my case has been going on for almost 1 year. Almost 1 year. And it might take one more year or two. That's the sad part of it. It's like, I'm in battle and it's like it's going on. It's almost like how when this Russia Ukraine war started and everybody was like, that was the big news. Now it started to reach into month. It's like it does not even make news cycle anymore. And I don't blame people. It's like you can only focus to something to so long before you just get burnt out of it. So my life is also becoming something like that. It's like, yeah, court case is going on. First few months it was like, whoa, court case. It's like, wow. And like, big bad thing. It's like, now it's like, just irritating erosive damage that I'm like, being eroded away at it. Hello, sir. I have a question about supercritical carbon dioxide. Where are we with it? People are working on it, but this is unfortunately one of those things where it's like, even though you may see the technology right now, it may take around 10-20 years to, reach final production. So it takes time. Optional lithium ion technology by ISRO. That I have not looked into it. I have not looked exactly what you're talking about. I have not looked into it. So I do apologize for that. I do apologize for that. But anyway, this was my breakdown, what's happening, how things are going, and it was also for me, so I can look back at this video and like figure out where I was. Now UK state for video 17.5, not 17.5, 10.5, 10.5, 10, 10.5. So just for me also, where it's like, I need to check, like, I need to check it's like if things are well or fine, okay or not, because again, bad things have bad effects on you. That's why they are called bad things. So I need, like, basically milepost, whereas how was I like, that's why the status update has a date code into it, 8/5/2022. So I will look back into it, like hopefully next live stream would be until I made some progress. Hopefully either my spine or my court case or my channel, like, again, thankfully power issue has been sorted, and when I will come back from Ahmedabad, I'll start to do like, utilize this basically. And meanwhile, I will try to make short videos, so A, that will spice up my channel, and B, it may break that YouTube not sending notification. So let's see how things happen. I'm using Hero Optima HS 0 RS on fuel. Good for you, good for you. Ash of burnt plastics. Plastic burnt in a proper way will not have any ash remaining. You should not supposed to have. Plastic is a crude oil product. It's supposed to burn. If it's not burning, if there is ash, you're not burning it high temperature enough, meaning generally you need around 800 degree or 700 degrees Celsius. If you are burning it at that temperature, that's why it's not recommended to burn plastic in open air. You have to burn it into a basically furnace, and very high temperature kind of furnace. If you can achieve that, then you will not have any toxic component, and whatever remaining toxic component is there, which will be like, compared to like if you are burning 100 tons of it, you will get very little amount of it. If you have that, you can send it through what we call flue gas treatment. It's a common thing. It has been used in coal plant also, and that will eliminate any residual system. So it's one of those things that we can do reliably. EV kit for car, make a video on it. Nah, no, EV kit for car is not practical, and I'm not even sure whether it's legal also or not. I'm not sure. Again, I do not know about it, but last time I checked about it, it's like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's not recommended. And again, battery capacity is very huge. Fire of a, like, 5 kilowatt hour battery bank is one thing. Fire of a 15 or 50 kilowatt hour battery bank is a whole another thing. So yeah, that's the whole thing. Plastic ash, there should not be any ash. If there is ash, that means you are not burning it. Hello, subscribed recently. I love your Hyperloop video. Amazing. Yeah, Hyperloop is one of those things that I made a video about it like 3 years ago. Then I made a video about 2 years ago. Then I made a video about 1 year. Every time I'm getting the same comments like, you are so negative, you don't know anything, though engineers are working. I broke it down brick by brick. Is that engineers will work on it if you pay them. If I pay someone, it's like work on this, project that goes nowhere, they will work on it if they're getting salary. That's the whole point of a job. It's like you work on it. I don't talk to my company when I was like, working as a 3D game artist. Even though I wanted to, I did not tell them, it's like, dude, do not work on this game. And it's like, it will flop and all that. I did not do that. That's not my job. I'm getting paid for it. I'll work for it. So that's the same thing that happened. And now, only now people are like, maybe it was a bad idea. I'm like, oh, really? Really? Please tell me more. Please tell me more. Please tell me how the only company that even went to full scale prototype, they are like, you know what, we are not putting humans in this. It's too goddamn expensive. They are letting go of the 50% of their staff, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna use what we call cargo. I'm like, dude, there is no cargo in this world that is valuable enough to lay down, Hyperloop for it. No cargo in this world has that kind of priority. So, and not to mention, think of this way, like planes are the fastest thing we have right now. We do not use plane for cargo. We use container ship for cargo. That's the same thing. I love your scientific and practical approach. Thanks. That's the aim point of this channel. That's like, what my USP, unique selling point. That's what I want to bring to the thing. That's why I always talk about that. Like there are three main levels to everything. First is economics. Second is engineering. Not first is physics. Second is basically engineering. Third is economics. Only after you completed all these three things, then only you can make something. So it was a live stream, which to be frank, I'm genuinely surprised that at least people came and saw, because I was like expecting I'm just gonna let it out and just maybe one person would watch it, but apparently 10-20 people have watched it, which is mind-boggling and almost humbling. It's like so I'm happy with this. So let's just close this live stream. This was just an update for me and for you guys. If you ever wondering what the hell is going on, why there are so many breaks, even though like if you looked at my like past 3 years, it's almost continuous. Nothing is there. It's like almost clear. That's why like 800 video is there. No breaks. Now it's like every other day is like break. What's happening? That's the whole thing. Sometimes like uh, uh, things happen. It's like you have a plan, but life has another plan. So with that, let's close out this live stream. Hopefully, if you may find this a bit entertaining, bit eye-opening, because like not everything is sunshine and rainbows. So with that, I'm trying to research in the field of supercritical karma. Sir, may a suggestion very appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Anyway, bye with you guys.